Nearly half a dozen groups of industry associations as well as consumer advocates are expressing frustration with the delays for key provisions of the Food Safety Modernization Act. The provisions were expected to be released in rapid fashion beginning early 2011, but little progress has actually been made to date, that according to the Food Institute. There's no explanation for the holdup, stated the director of the food programs at the Pew Health Group, which co-wrote a letter with the Grocery Manufacturers Association to the administration, which notes, until this new package of safeguards is put into place, all the promise of the new food safety law will not be met. Experts tracking the issue claimed that the OMB's Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs raised questions about FDA's analysis of the costs and the benefits of the provision, which it routinely does. The delays are routine, but usually come at the behest of industry, according to the Center for Progressive Reform. FDA officials claim to have observed no signs of resistance in the hundreds of meetings it held with affected parties. The center has said that the delays could be caused by OMB itself, which, and I quote, is hostile to the idea of regulation, and they've always been, no matter which administration. The Food Institute is offering an ongoing series of webinars on the new food safety provisions as they become available. For info, just log on, foodinstitute.com. The new ethnic foodstuffs when the Lempert Report continues. Several diversity trends point to higher demand for ethnic foods in supermarkets. To win over American consumers, these ethnic foods will need to be authentic rather than pale domestic versions that merely hint at the palatable pleasures of international cuisine. Different influences emerge in these trends. One reconfigures households and the foods eaten in them. Others make the nation more familiar with the array of ethnic foods, either through the growth of certain population segments or the serving of foods from around the world in school cafeterias and college dining halls. They all point to the need for supermarkets to ramp up their authority in international foods and in dietary practices. Points to ponder. Intermarriage is on the rise. About 15% of all new marriages in the U.S. in 2010 were between spouses of a different race or ethnicity from one another. Now that's more than double the share in 1980, according to the Pew Research Center. The growth of Hispanic and Asian populations here in the U.S. continues. By the year 2050, Hispanics are projected to account for 30% of the total U.S. population. Now that's up from 16% in 2010. Asians will account for 7.8%, up from 4.6% in the same period, those according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Today's school-aged children are growing up exposed to food diversity. A recent School Nutrition Association survey shows that most school cafeterias in America offer Mexican and Asian dishes, and many experiment with Middle Eastern, Greek, kosher or halal, and Indian foods. The Lempert Report uploads right here 3 times a week with the information you need to stay ahead of the trends. For more, just visit thelempertreport.com.